Disco Elysium. I haven't played in ages. Kim is still gone. So, I don't know what we should really be getting on with. Yes, we already figured that out. Let's just see. Apparently there's a pissing match between Precinct 41 and Precinct 57. Ask Kim when he comes back. This will take a while. Oh. So you can buy the trousers. They're too expensive. Where's the rest of the armor? We were talking to the people inside the tent, so why don't we... Well, not inside, outside the tent, so... Go in... Let's go into see the people inside the tent. Oh my god, his head's spazzing out. Look. Is it open?
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door. High above, the wind wraps the church in its rush, cold and wet from the ocean bay. It parts around the massive keel-shaped roof, like a test tunnel, washing both sides, the way it has done for 340 years. The wind keeps its distance. So should you.
There is a hole in my heart.
This cheap-looking padlock, it'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. You see, there is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock.
I'm sure we did
There's
this
nothing
already.
like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it looks like today was a gold...
Okay, pretty sure we did that already, but fine. Maybe it didn't save. What is this? So much stuff. Why is there stuff inside these posts? There's a bird. I'm gonna change my hat this time. If you can have a shit hat.
Oh. Huh?
Maybe she didn't...
So should you. Oh. I didn't notice that. Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat. I'm sorry I said fuck. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording... I don't know.
A lie.
The musician... Anyway, I don't really know.
She looks at... The sharp drop in endorphins is almost visible.
Thanks. That? Yeah.
And why is that?
They got music stuff most. Yep, that stuff is more expensive. No, man, fuck that. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
She's shivering a bit.
Go ahead. No. A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing.
Why? Okay.
A very common.
This? Actually, just one.
Your mango. You're welcome.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. No.
An entire lit.
Man, you are one weird cop. What is it with you and... Okay, if it floats your boat... Uh-huh. The mic? Same place I got the... It's a music...
Thinking about it really...
Oh, yeah.
Hey, didn't...
A skull thing?
No, you don't.
I don't know what that means either.
It means I've hit beyond my ears.
That's cool. Sucks, man. Was there something else? About... Okay. It's supposed to become, like, a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum.
Right.
Except that... Yeah.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here, not in a million years.
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments. Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too.
DMB.
Anything that uses electricity,
Electronica.
but isn't guitars.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like. If...
You know, anodic, cathodic, what do you need to know? I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're a cop, right? Okay, well...
What?
Maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys. Because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right? They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Go ahead.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow...
Okay, bye.
Can you even pick it up?
Aces high. For the rest of the world, the aces high
Empathy
is
to kill.
just a cool Revachol thing. Politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades, and those cargo pants could store tools
Orange.
for hot-fixing your aerostatic. Maybe you should ask him about this.
Now we can be friends. I don't want to be a nationalist. It's embarrassment to the party. Some kind of superstar. I want to be a superstar. Yeah, let's make him be homosexual. Should put a hat on again. What's the music? Would this be the anodonic music? Can I knock this down?
A pane of Eternite has barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Well animated though. Right. Is it easier to get back? Oh, don't be electrochemistry.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Let me in.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Oh. English, eh?
go speak to Andre. I'm just annoyed. I suck at socialising, man. If you go speak to Andre, I'll have time to tune in, get a reading on your sign. See? It's already going wrong. Sign is off.
Scared, angry. It's hard to say which this man is. He's just scared. You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the
It looks like
toothbrush
Lisa
down
Simpson.
and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
Whoa, the picture. Blasting light out from his shoulders.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. We have many in the pipeline, officer. You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Oh, damn.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property.
Oh, okay.
I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast. I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Reversholt.
Strike that. The word.
He's German.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
The spooky kind. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community
Spooky.
centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Will you let me in?
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. All right, man.
You gonna let me in?
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole...
Yes, I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work.
And an
But
array.
it should hold for a while.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal
Yeah,
plastic.
come on.
The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freak's nod to you approvingly. The speed freak nods to you. A respectful nod. You proved something here.
Not long, like a week maybe? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive.
Oh, God.
I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives. I don't know. What does anything mean, really?
Oh, yeah.
I knew you'd get it. You're one smart cop.
He nods attentively, ready to answer the questions of one smart cop.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. Well, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
Apparently, yeah.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No,
shit.
the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
Right.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church.
Ooh, with red
A
hair.
couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it. Sure, why not? Yeah.
But not really. Brown hair. Old. Heavy, dark signs.
What Noid said.
So brown and older, Ruby might have dyed her hair, though it seems like a stretch at this point.
Like, you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means?
Could be
It was this
anything.
dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
Ugh.
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures, and not known for climbing walls.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man.
No, I wouldn't think
Don't
so.
let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Crap people.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
80%
With a
likely.
small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations, where you can listen to people getting killed on
Oh my
and
God.
jerk off to it. Sick shit.
Not that we would know anything about that. Noid just likes to relay stuff.
He appears sincere enough, sire. You could, of course, be wrong.
Huh.
We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid about the machines. He'll tell you more. Well, honestly, I can't, but I am.
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers. Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from?
Wow.
Sure. What? Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know? I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian Church.
What the
Plus,
hell?
they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no? Totally.
The Pericanassian Church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse.
This
Love
guy's
is the
fucking
ringer
high.
out of death. We dance.
Right.
Love is hardcore.
Unity.
Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass.
Oh, he likes the music.
As if testing the waters. Feels good.
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse, you look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse.
Oh look, Harry's actually dancing, I just noticed.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
Are we? Yeah! Oh yeah, it can. He's coming
Oh,
around.
that's cute. He's tapping his
You're
toe.
getting it. Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. You feel
was
like you
dancing.
can go for a little disco when, or if they get this club going. You've got it in you.
Yes. What? Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water. Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
Huh?
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid?
No,
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic
What about distilled
scientist
water?
to guess it's drug-related.
Really?
They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. Unlike the girls
What's under that
outside,
sheet?
however, the boys' breathing is regular. Their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated, so they're not under the influence currently. At least, not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this?
The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe. Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Nosa, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Nosa. Blast away.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently.
Can we get some logic up?
Hi again. So, how are things going?
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How
my hat on.
about gather around, kids? The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
But you still are. What happened? I've been trying to say we need the next step in dance music to happen fast. Shut it. What? I have. I've said that.
The young speed freak is silent. He senses something is wrong.
We don't need drugs to be hardcore. Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Climb down from the equestrian monument, cop man. Consciousness is new to the universe. We all...
We know she has a problem, man. We're working on it. She didn't exactly have a smooth adolescence.
Underneath, he is furious she ruined it for them. This means trouble for their female friend.
exactly is it you know? I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing. I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
Okay, so they're making like meth.
Cellular-based life. What's your point, Lawbringer?
Make up your mind. First is the sweat, then it's the ether. No shit. That's... Come on, that's... I meant to say, not true. What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
What do you mean by lenient? Okay, man, okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Revershall.
It'll just be full of drugs.
Because we do! We totally do! We just need to turn it into a speed lab before.
To get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up. No, man, they're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there. But the sign was way off, too. I couldn't feel the love at all. Sir, you promised you'd be lenient.
This is it. Judgment time.
Yeah! I knew it. It's impossible now. No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for anodic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance. There needs
The
to be a
egghead
club
actually
for
wants the
anodic
music.
in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time. We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
This will be nothing. You can hear the ice crack underneath you. Outside, the last century waterfront development is crumbling in the wind. A grape-shot row of falling houses. And so is Rue de Saint-Jérôme and all the houses on Main Row. The old cinema is sinking underneath Villa La Bosse.
What? Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels and nothing but, I swear to God. Okay, Egg? From here on, it'll be straight all the way. As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid? That's fine, man. But I've got to warn you, our signs are still off. It'll take some time for me to get my scion. A sticker? You mean the yellow one? Can you describe it to me?
Interesting. He wants you to describe it, though he already knows what it looks like.
Seems like my creation has found its way into the legal bureaucracy. What did you want to ask about it? The dead guy's smiling. He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history, we are always already dead. How can we ever smile then? Because history is a lie, and so are its deaths. The present moment and life are the hardcore. The hardcore expels death. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats.
Or drugged out of his mind, come to think of it.
Yeah, that interpretation holds. Simplicity was brought to us by classical soul artist modernism, but that was a tasteful, harmonious simplicity, right? Well, hardcore is not tasteful or outwardly harmonious. It's a warning shot. This will be dangerous. Yep, the sticker, the clothes, the music, same thing. It is. I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing. But what for? Nah. I'm doing what I can.
It's not easy for him. It probably took him years to get used to Andre.
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery.
Maybe that's where
Wires
the
going
shooter
into
was.
water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked-up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural. Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it, though.
The sickest. That's perhaps why it should be researched.
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers,
Interesting spelling. But
pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff. The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
It's not
we're
easy
to
to
be friends.
as though you're
Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent! All core! All right!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chick's checker. Yeah!
What the fuck?
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Blimey. Fate.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean. Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here. I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth. Which isn't much. You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them? Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise. Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's
Tell
less
us.
prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just... And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab.
I don't want to go in there, it sounds scary.
I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story. It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail.
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way. Yes, a banger. As in a mesh gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw. Why? I guess so. Anyway, what else? My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Okay. Why do I need to pick up that? Where is it? Empathy. Do I have any empathetic clothes? I do have some empathetic clothes.
Hello again.
I have level 7 empathy, and that's not good enough. Okay, well, fuck that then. I'm just gonna stay dressed like this though, because it'll look quite cool, I think. Let's go in the chish.
Heavy wooden doors. The lock turns. Feels like electricity. And a very small piece of nothingness. As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. Its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Oh, we're going in. I was going to run off and wait for Kim, just in case, but hey-ho. Looks like I'm doing this. I'm scared of the crab mat. Oh, nice music. There's the machinery. It's smashed. Looks cool.
machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity. This is the Rhine Prefect, radio computer model
What do you
number
know?
RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Rhine-compatible interim printer. The Rhine Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Rhine Civic. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Rhine Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits. Better not touch it. Who knows what evils it may hide? As you step closer, you notice fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. The speaker comes
Will it
to
be the
life.
same woman?
Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic
Maybe she'll
driver.
give me the
An
password.
old lady greets you.
Good afternoon.
It is.
Address accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? Good. Please repeat the password. I am contractually obliged to protect. Now, can you please repeat the password? No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater station.
Receive. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brun, that's the church. Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with? Goodbye, votre accident.
The machine's keyboard is nothing happens.
We need the password still. Oh, for sake. I thought that was a pair of shoes. Slip them. These shoes make me empathetic. That's what I need. Where are you going? Where are you going, Harry? Spider spins its web. Is that a bat? Bats don't fly like that. Bats don't soar. Bats flap. Oh, a scarf. That'll look nice. Oh, yeah, he looks cool now. Give me that bottle.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in
Where's he
just the
going?
right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, you can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Don't think I'm going to get another chance, am I? Oh, nice. The pews make it look like a lecture hall more than a church.
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
No.
Yes, The darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Is it the crab man?
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go?
Fuck off. The fuck is
You
that?
see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Nah, it's making a noise. Don't like it. What's it making a
The
noise?
shadow is a man. A
Tiago.
man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The crab man. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes.
Oh.
But don't worry. Everything's gonna be all right. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in general. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Rivershow.
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
He's a born preacher. Enjoy the rhetorical flourishes, but remain vigilant. Don't let him get too close. He's crazy. Giving away all of your possessions, sacrificing a limb to appease an angry god, trying to live on air and light alone, as though you were some kind of plant. Seems it's already too late. Have fun on the cookie train. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence, and you don't even know it. I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look into my own heart and see I was in pain.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
It doesn't matter who I am, Wade. I'm just bringing you the message of the mother's love. She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness. This is the church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You
Why are
have
you on the
no
fucking ceiling?
idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Saving perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see him. Think they scared of me. Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway, why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes?
Viejita is grandma?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Wait, what if it's Ruby?
You mean like a fugitive? No, man. Quite the opposite. I don't think she cared much about authority or anything else for that matter. Maybe only about her machines. That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He is Mexican.
Or search through her radio computer.
Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What do you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña when I hear it. Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters.
Wait, you think because a fire is cooler than a crab?
It may be that I gotta work on my technique. I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. Nah, ese, it's not like that. Best thing that could happen to you, losing your memory. Tiago's my name, by the way, though those syllables don't mean much to me. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly. Oh, that's no simple question, Essa. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will. I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
I can see, and it saddens me. I heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out. I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
Marietti is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings. It's delightfully quaint, owing to its peasant origins. He lost his cool there for a moment. Seems you hit some nerve.
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me. I think they were.
Oh, shit.
A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't need them anymore.
Well, I've already
They look
nicked them.
pretty dapper, actually.
Yes, they're mine.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Police raid a while back.
Why?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything. I think we're done here, Esther.
Who's gone?
Tremble, The time is now. Ta'ola. Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream. Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse. Ulogu Theodos. Xeno Zausin. Ipoli Osithian.
What fucking language is that?
Fronisin. Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread.
Have I run out of time to do my mission then?
Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. It's totally also a coping mechanism. So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos. Perhaps, just a thought, this has something to do with the hangover. The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vapor.
Fucking hell, that's a bit dark.
The machine's keyboard, the speak.
Good afternoon, Fortress. Good. Please, good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress accident. Is there anything? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard, the printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place is being deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. 6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking Escasiris, something advanced. 8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked.
Are these all the people from the game developers?
I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right. She must be talking about her former colleagues from Fortress Accident. They all sound like radio game people. 12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m. 25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics. A shiver runs through you as you look to your left, toward the silence.
The hole.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again.
There's the tent, guys.
Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez.
That was
Can't
me.
do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum.
In capitals.
Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening.
There she comes.
A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Oh shit, she can tell me off.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see. No one's hiding here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
Okay.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass. The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you, it covers you from the wind outside. The ocean feels distant, its ebb and flow blocked off by the centuries-old pinewood sarcophagus around you. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you, inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You. As that soft word passes through your mind, you rise into the apricot-colored light of the window. The woman keeps smiling her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men. The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world's spirit. More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent
this is a
that
real
has
person
taken
then?
place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate in authentic rule should it coincide with our time. And innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. And innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi, she is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
This is really cool.
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Serene, modern-day Sir Laclay. Also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty, draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this, dwarfed? The past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting. You should keep away. No, you must know. Exactly. Back out of this corner of your mind by choosing many things draped in ink terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court. A court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous. It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history. The DeLorean era. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt. As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supra-Muindi. Altogether, 21 of the 40 Mundial nations of the time immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning. In a city called Advesperaskit in Vespa Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
Horrible.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen. One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else.
What the fuck?
Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history.
An
We were
alien.
supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology. Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her. You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day. Constantly surrounded by her terriers, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity.
Wow.
She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography. But she was not hell. She is the opposite of that. The wind of paradise, stripping away the covers from the hearts of men. There you stand, below her once more, with your hands on your side, momentarily at a loss as what to do with yourself.
Visual calculus.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both. Unknown. A motor carriage, a gunshot, someone falling into it, or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break. The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence Day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail. Below both women, in luminous black letters,
I don't see it.
Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau.
What's that mean?
And then, along the left side, après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau.
Something about the world?
After life,
New world?
death, After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death. The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression. The mother.
Oh, well, okay. And I think that's time for us to call it session. Wow. When we come back, we'll talk to this woman, and there's still much more exploration for us to do. At least we can tell those guys that the crab man is just some fucking weird Mexican guy. Until next time, thanks so much for tuning in. Bye!